So I'm done pixelating the jchrome tabbed pane for Java. It is a clone of the Google Chrome browser's tab control, which is also in use on the Chrome OS. I'm on Ubuntu Linux, and this screen capture is being recorded by xvidcap, and I'm sick, so this won't be the most stellar narration. So the motivation behind the control was that on OS X, the Java look and feel for tabs is woefully inadequate in the way that it's rendered, pretty much unusable. So since I deploy applications on Windows, OS X, and Linux, I needed a solution for tabs on OS X that would provide nice functionality and look good. So the Chrome browser tabs seem like a good choice. They render nicely, they're nicely drawn, and they're very responsive. So I'm going to go ahead and run my demo application here. So what we have here is a clone of the Chrome tabs. They look a little different on Linux because Linux does not use a metal window frame like OS X does. But if you put this control at the top of a window in OS X, it will look identical to this. So the first thing you notice about the Chrome tabs is that they have a nicely rounded appearance. Unlike most tab controls you see in applications which kind of have morbidly square boundaries, this has a very nice clean appearance to it. This is the look that it has on OS X. The Chrome tabs look a little different just due to color changes on the PC. But it's basically the same control. Everything you see here is functionally identical to the Google Chrome tabs with the exception of a few little animation tricks that they do. So one thing that's different about this control versus your typical tab control is usually you will see some kind of scroller or a list over here which will allow you to browse to a larger number of tabs once you've sort of you have more than a reasonable number of tabs open. Google didn't make that choice. Instead, they allow you to sort of infinitely make the tabs smaller and keep adding them, which creates kind of a usability issue. If you can see here, these captions are not visible to the user at all. But one advantage of their strategy, which I kind of like, is that if you close the tabs from the middle, they slide to the left, and you don't have to move the mouse to keep closing them. So that's really nice. And if you close from the end, they expand to the right, also allowing you to continue closing tabs. So you can close tabs very quickly using these tabs, and I think that was definitely a usability goal of theirs, even though this seems to be somewhat unusable. I do notice that when I'm using Chrome versus Firefox, over time I do tend to open up fewer tabs, and maybe it's because they're very easy to manage. So one other little wrinkle that you probably won't notice when you're using Chrome is that I've removed some tabs and they've disappeared and slid to the left, but these tabs are not taking up all the available space on the window. So what happens is when you mouse out of the tab control, Chrome expands them to their maximum size within the window, which is kind of nice. And I have to keep this window small just for the screen cap so that it doesn't distort when I upload it. Otherwise, I'd show you a much bigger view. So feature-wise, other than that, a little bit of fluff. You get a little highlight over the tabs when they're not selected. You get close buttons, which are not standard on any Java tab control. And if you notice, you also get, if a caption is too long for a tab, you get a fade out of the text, which I think is kind of nice touch. On the PC, Chrome uses an ellipsis, which I don't think is as cool. So that's kind of a very nice look. So that's about it. This widget is not 100% app ready, but if you download it now, any decent developer could make it app ready fairly quickly. And it's available on ls-la.com or the AJL project at SourceForge.